affirmation. And this one's for your throat chakra, so we can get clear and intentional about what we want. Yeah, always speak my truth. What I say is what I do. And I carry so much power, you can feel it in the room. I won't bend my truth for you. No, like glass, I'm speaking smooth. Picking what I say real carefully. I'm claiming what I choose. Yeah, I always speak my truth. What I say is what I do. And I carry so much power, you can feel it in the room. I won't bend my truth for you. No, like glass, I'm speaking smooth. Picking what I say real carefully. I'm claiming what I choose. Yeah, I guess I learned my lesson. Surrounded by my blessings. And you tried to knock me down a peg, but baby, I ain't stressing. I'm too busy manifesting. Enjoying my successes to be worried about someone else. I love to keep them guessing. What I think is what I say, and that reflects in what I do. I don't censor how I feel, and if it fits, then wear the shoe. I don't really like to argue, so you better think it through. If I said it, then I meant it, and I only say the truth. Always speak my truth. What I say is what I do, and I carry so much power, you can feel it in the room. I won't bend my truth for you. No, like glass, I'm speaking smooth. Picking what I say real carefully. I'm claiming what I choose. Yeah, I always speak my truth. What I say is what I do, and I carry so much power, you can feel it in the room. I won't bend my truth for you. No, like glass, I'm speaking smooth. Picking what I say real carefully. I'm claiming what I choose. If you threatened by my honesty, then bitch, you got to go. If I don't like how you speak to me, I'm gonna let you know. My emotions are a part of me, I'm gonna let them flow. Man, if you can't match my energy, you vibrating too low. Raise your vibe, then come talk to me. What's your ideologies? Got a bitch who knows astrology and studies anthropology. She's skilled in cosmetology and no Slavic mythology. My bitch studied psychology, ain't got no time for apologies. What you got for me that I ain't got already? Is your sacral chakra open, baby? Maybe you can get it. What's your Venus sign in? Put my flame out, baby. If you want my time of day, then I expect to be impressed. I don't chase, I attract. I receive all I ask. I will pave my own path. I ain't never going back. I don't chase, I attract. I receive all I ask. I will pave my own path. I ain't never going back. Yeah, I always speak my truth. What I say is what I do, and I carry so much power, you can feel it in the room. I won't bend my truth for you. No, like glass, I'm speaking smooth. Picking what I say real carefully. I'm claiming what I choose. Breathe in your power, babe. Feel the power of standing in your truth. And when this next affirmation comes in, I want you to say it with all of that power. I don't chase, I attract. I receive all I ask. I will pave my own path. I ain't never going back. I don't chase, I attract. I receive all I ask. I will pave my own path. I ain't never going back. Yeah, I always speak my truth. What I say is what I do, and I carry so much power, you can feel it in the room. I won't bend my truth for you. No, like glass, I'm speaking smooth. Picking what I say real carefully. I'm claiming what I choose.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
Hey babes. Hello my loves. How we doing? How we doing? I'm on my other computer, so I didn't want to subject you all to too many ads. Too many ads. Thank you, babes. Thank you. How's the sound? Is it okay? Am I too loud? How we doing? How we feeling? How we doing? How we feeling? Sounds good. Okay, fierce. Okay, fierce. Some crazy shit going on out there. You know what I mean? Some crazy shit going on out there. Bex is stressed. I get it. The pressure's high. We got an eclipse on Sunday. We got a lunar eclipse on Sunday. You know, just a heads up. In Pisces. So it's popping. It's popping. I can understand why the pressure might be building. You know? Pisces in the house. Yes. Yes. Alright, so tonight, what we're going to do, and what I want to start doing weekly, you know, maybe every other week or weekly or whatever, I want to start doing astrology readings. I used to do these. I've done these before, but I like splitting it up like that. I like Teeb. Hello, my loves. Hey, babes. Hey, Antonio. I like splitting it up by signs sometimes and giving everybody an equal opportunity to receive a message. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we are going to roll my handy dandy astrological sign dice. And the dice is going to choose which sign gets a reading when. So we're not doing it in order. We're letting the fate decide. You know, we are letting the fates decide. So I feel like let's do what we always do. Say our protection affirmation. And then get into these readings. Sound good? Sound good? I'm gonna actually get my headphones so I can hear it too. Hello? Thank you. Drop some evil eye emojis for me, babes, in the chat. Just because we're not on TikTok doesn't mean we don't have a way that we do stuff, okay? Drop some evil eye emojis for me in the chat. I need to get some evil eye specific emojis for Twitch. That would be fierce. What are they called on here? Emotes. Emotes.
Yeah. I'm
Y'all hear it?
One more affirmation. This one is all about keeping yourself protected, keeping yourself grounded, and reminding yourself of who you are. Let's get it. Yeah. I'm protected from my head to my toes. Divinely guided, baby, everybody knows. The hand that does the evil deed be exposed. If I get a bad vibe, you gotta go. I'm protected from my head to my toes. Divinely guided, baby, everybody knows. The hand that does the evil deed be exposed. If I get a bad vibe, you gotta go. I'm protected from them bad vibes. From all the boys with the sad eyes. I call them friends, but they landmines. They was always gonna make me the bad guy. Y'all giving off bad vibes. But y'all giving off bad vibes. Y'all giving off bad vibes. Stay protected, I keep me an evil eye. Now you know you get that feeling in your gut, like something about to happen in your throat closes shut. You know you gotta move, but your feet feel stuck. Yeah, something feeling wrong, but you don't know what. Listen up, that feeling you should trust. Now you know the truth, and that feeling of disgust. Don't let it break you down, baby girl, you adjust. And you know you live in love while they all stuck in lust. Know what, huh? Now you picking up on bad vibes. You see them boys with the sad eyes. You call them friends, but they landmines. They was always gonna make you the bad guy, huh? Y'all giving off bad vibes, but we ain't giving off bad vibes. Y'all giving off bad vibes. Stay protected, I keep me an evil eye. Say it, I don't fuck with bad vibes. Say it with me. I ain't scared to cut ties. I don't fuck with bad vibes. I ain't scared to cut ties. Again. I don't fuck with bad vibes.
Say it.
I ain't scared to cut ties.
Feel it.
I don't fuck with bad vibes. I ain't scared to cut ties. And so it is. Yeah, you are divinely protected, babe. Never forget it. Say the affirmation with me. I'm protected from my head to my toes. Yeah. Divinely guided, baby, everybody knows. The hand that does the evil deed be exposed. If I get a bad vibe, you gotta go. I don't fuck with bad vibes. I ain't scared to cut ties. I don't fuck with bad vibes. I ain't scared to cut ties.
Right. Exactly. Okay. All right, let me take these off. Okay. I realize I don't have my cleansing spray. Let me grab that really quick. And then we're going to jump into these readings. Thank you, old babes, for being here. We're trying something new. I'll be right back. Song plays daily in your home. Yes. I want to play another song, but I want to make sure that there's no ads. I want to make sure there's no ads. We'll play another song while I get the other stuff.
while I get this stuff. And of course, there we go. It's and when you operate out of a space of goodness, out of a space of authenticity, the people who don't aren't gonna like that very much. Yeah. I know they see me work my magic, yeah, I got it. They tryna take my light and wanna use it for some profit. They probably treat me different if they knew I was a prophet. And I know they tryna break me, but my spirit God's about it. I know they really hate me, I can tell when they not honest. They making all these deals and never giving what they promise. They steal the light inside of you and leave you as a carcass. And they want what they can't have, and that's our gifts as an artist. Smartest in the room and I'm an agent of chaos. Babe, I'm looking out for you and I'ma make sure they pay us. Better watch out for these dudes and what they'll do to get famous. And my God's just coming through and every song is a seance. And I sit in the observer seat, I see every nuance. Yeah, I see through every mask and I can see what you doing. Can't manipulate me, baby, better know that I'm fluent. If you try to go against me, then expect to get ruined. Right. Goodness will always prevail. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Not one. Say it with me, babe. Enjoy it. Anyone speaking ill on my name, they gon' feel all the pain while I put it in a song. It's about intuition gon' reveal all the snakes, all the liars and the fakes. If you try to do me wrong, anyone speaking ill on my name, they gon' feel all the pain while I put it in a song. It's about intuition gon' reveal all the snakes, all the liars and the fakes. If you try to do me wrong, anyone speaking ill on my name, they gon' feel all the pain while I put it in a song. It's about intuition gon' reveal all the snakes, all the liars and the fakes. If you try to do me wrong, said it 3 times so you know that I mean it. You making all this mess, who you expecting to clean it? Nah, it don't need addressing and we don't need no meetings. Yeah, I operate in light and now my shadow is needed. I've been doing the healing and I've been feeling my feelings. And I've been ending all the cycles, I've been breaking the ceilings. And I've been carefully leading, I'm doing energy readings. And I'm raising the vibration cause I know that we need it. Anyone speaking ill on my name, they gon' feel all the pain while I put it in a song. Intuition gon' reveal all the snakes, all the liars and the fakes. If you try to do me wrong, you can stop. Anyone speaking ill on my name, they gon' feel all the pain while I put it in a song. It's about intuition gon' reveal all the snakes, all the liars and the fakes. If you try to do me wrong, you can stop. Anyone speaking ill on my name, they gon' feel all the pain while I put it in a song. It's about intuition gon' reveal all the snakes, all the liars and the fakes. If you try to do me wrong, I feel like you've told me that before, but for some reason that Aries moon with the 2 Earth placements really, woof, gets me. That gets me, girl. All right. Okay. We'll save Villainaire for a little bit later. Emotional tornado. That's funny. Aquarius, Sun, and Rising Capricorn Moon. Wow. Wow. You too. That's so funny. All right. Let's jump into these readings. Leo Sun, Leo Rising, Sag Moon. Wow. Talisha, I didn't know you had a double Leo in your big 3. I did not know that. Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Leo Rising. Wow. Again, lots of doubles. Lots of Sun Moon combo, Sun Rising combo. Wow. That's exciting. That's fun. Okay, so this is what we're going to do first. We are going to come down here. We're going to give our die a little shaky shake. Libra Sun, Scorpio Moon, Libra Rising. Wow. Again, lots of doubles. Interesting. All right. Let's see who's up first. Gemini. Oh, Gemini. Gemini is up first. Any Gemini placements in the chat? I'm going to keep this up here in the corner so we can remember. Actually, I'm going to keep it up here in this corner so we can remember. Up here in this corner. It's a little dark up there. All right, we'll keep it up here. Where am I? Where's my camera? Okay. You listen to Gemini too, since you're on the cusp, Fierce. Gemini Sun. Leo Moon, Pisces Rising. Wow. Watching the shuffle. This is a great supplement for the tarot class for sure. That's for sure. Alright. Let's see. Let's get some messages for Gemini. Oh, that's so crazy. Clear, concise messages for Gemini. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Gemini, it's time to start getting clear on like what the vision is, right? Like, it feels to me like, and this is before I even flip these two over, right? We have this card come out and like literally sit right on the shelf here. I have a little ledge right here that you guys can't see. It's kind of off camera. And it came out and it sat right here on this ledge. Like kind of tucked itself under a thing, right? And this is why I say, especially for my babes who, hi babe, especially for my babes who are learning tarot and reading tarot and choosing to pull cards without doing a spread. I find it very, very interesting to see the way the cards come out, and especially like whenever they do fun little things like this and like just lodge themselves somewhere. Like, I don't know. I find it very interesting and part of the story, right? So right here, it's quite literally being set up on a ledge for you. And again, not necessarily clear if it's coming out in the upright or the reverse, which I also find very, very fascinating, right? I tend to lean in the upright because I think that I would love to lean into the idea that this energy is being welcomed in or invited in, right? And it feels like that. It feels like that. It feels like there is this space now, like you've been shown, you've been proving to yourself that you can do it, whatever that means, right? Whatever that means. Hi, babes. Whatever that means for you, you've been showing yourself. You're starting to get this confidence. You're starting to build this momentum. And now it's time to start visualizing. Like, really starting to create this vision in your mind of what the final product looks like, right? Maybe final product isn't the right word, but like what the end result is, right? And we're starting to like get clearer in our vision. And again, this coming out first, again, being put right up here on a pedestal. I love that. Like, again, just a reminder, like this is an invitation. You are being welcomed in with this energy. I would lean into it if I were you, right? Especially for my Gemini babes, right? And then we've got her, right? We've got this Two of Pentacles in the reverse, which to me, again, with this card coming out, it feels like a reassurance of like you don't have to listen to anybody else. Let me not give you too much freedom, Gemini. Not that you don't have to listen to anybody else, but more importantly, listen to your own values. Other people might have a lot to say about what it is that you are wanting to create or cultivate within this time. You are being encouraged to pay attention to what it is that you desire, right? What it is that you value, what it is that you want to see within this experience. You might have a habit of listening to other people, even if it is in good faith, right? Even if it's trusting that like they know what they're talking about. You also know what you're talking about when it comes to your vision, right? You must, right? You know? Karina, hey babe. Ooh, yeah, exactly. Again, a reminder of your values. A reminder of what it is that you are even wanting to bring forth, right? Why you want to bring this forth. What's your reason? What's the I don't even want to say what's the driving force, but like there is something inherently that you value and that means something to you, that matters to you. And you're more than capable. Let's get one more for this. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. You got to stop thinking you're dumb, babe. Or like, I don't know. Or like other people might think that you're dumb. It's a fine line between genius and crazy. You know what I mean? And like a lot of that is the way in which you present your ideas. So, if you are wanting, right? If you are wanting to bring something into fruition and there's a reminder here of like other people's inherent motivations or values, how do I say this? The thing that drives them, the thing that makes something worthwhile to other people might not be the thing that makes things worthwhile to you. And if you are looking to get other people to understand, at the very least, where you're coming from, the way in which you deliver that needs to change. Can change. You're not wrong here, but other people might perceive you as wrong if you don't know how to communicate what it is that you are want, want and think and feel, What's the payoff? There's always a payoff. I'm encouraged to be fierce. Yeah. It's more, I mean, I love that question. What's the payoff? And like, what's their reason behind the thing, right? And other people's reasoning or their version of a payoff, their version of this ideal outcome might not, spoiler alert, it isn't yours. It isn't the same one that you have. And there is an opportunity for you to get these people on board, but it's the way in which you communicate that idea. Let's get one more. One more, I said. One more. Thank you. Ooh. Yeah. I think especially sometimes when it's something that really matters to us, we often cultivate this energy of like, I just want to get it right versus like, this is why it matters so much to me. You might need to just communicate, Gemini, how much this thing matters to you, why it matters to you, why you care so much and why you want it done a certain way, why you have a certain vision that you have. Versus, as opposed to telling somebody why their idea is wrong. I'm not saying that's what you do, but that Knight of Pentacles on the bottom, taking your time with this as well. It doesn't have to be an overnight thing. You might have to like kind of work your way into making people understand or helping people understand, let me say. It's not my job. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I love that. I love that so much, Gemini. That's such a vibe. That is such a vibe. All right. Let's see. Who is next? Like Hip Hop Harry. Who's next? What is that? Taurus. Taurus. Mika. Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's got like a weird smell. It almost smelled like, you know, when like laundry has been sitting like, and it's like kind of like damp still, and like that smell. It was just there and then it went. That to me gives the energy and the feeling of like, I mean, obviously, like not necessarily in the obvious of like mildewy, but it really just gives an abundance of wet energy, right? In a sense of like not able to look in that, in the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, right? Like this sense of like wet translating to emotional energy, right? And like this needing to, I don't want to say allow things to dry out, but like, yeah, that's what it gives. Hold on, let me. Right, because like when that happens, you then have to rewash that load of laundry and then dry it again, right? So it's like there is then a re-wetting. That's weird, but like, you know what I mean? Like a re-soaking of like saturating. Thank you. A re-saturating, re-soaking is the craziest thing that I've ever said. Re-soaking. It's the wildest word I've ever said. Okay, yeah, a resaturating that needs to happen, right? And if we're thinking of water as like, yes, I am Des, welcome in. If I'm thinking of like water as the emotions, right? There is then a need to resaturate because it hasn't dried the whole way, and now we're dirty. Don't have dirty in the analogy. That's not what I'm talking about. But it's like there's a need to like, maybe it is, maybe cleanse. Interesting. Interesting. So let's see. The smell's gone now. The smell is gone now. Yes. We're on Taurus right now. Oh, Des. Me pointing everywhere but the fucking. Okay. Okay. Let's get a message for Taurus. Sun, moon, rising. I mean, with the wet, it gives moon, but. Thank you. Thank you. Big boss need a big check. Interesting. 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 All the swords in the reverse. Oh, hiding. Love that though. Any other hidden gems? Wow, all those swords in the reverse. Very interesting. Can we see? Nope. Let's do 3 up here, 3 down here. How about that? All of those swords being in the reverse is so interesting to me. It feels like a reluctance to own the power of one's belief, right? Like, not even belief, like, trust what you know. Trust what you know. Trust what you know. It doesn't matter how quickly the thought happens. Trust what you know. Especially in those moments when you feel like maybe your back is up against the wall and like you're being challenged, or like being, thank you for the bits, or being feel like being made to feel like you might, like, I don't ever like to use this language, but like feeling like you're stupid, or like, yeah, this feeling like you need to defend yourself or your thoughts, whatever. And then within that, there's a doubt maybe that comes in. And like, this is so similar to a message that I was telling yesterday morning. Because, right, if this were to come out in the upright, the way that I would read this is there's this exciting idea, this new discovery of truth, this new belief in oneself is what it feels like. And it feels like because of this, there's going to be a need to defend oneself. But this coming out in the reverse is really giving this energy of feeling the need to defend oneself and not feeling confident in the belief, in the knowledge, in the truth, in the knowing. So this defense is not as strong as it could be. And this feels like a little bit of a dissociation then. Like, there's then this thing of like, okay, well, if I, like, it's, am I wrong? Like, it's, well, am I wrong? Like, am I, like, actually, am I wrong? Is that, was this wrong? Like, and there's this questioning, and like, it feels like that questioning, and like, there's a difference between like, okay, well, maybe could I be more educated on something versus am I wrong? There's a very specific rhetoric with am I wrong? Wrong is very strong. Okay. But I keep hearing that word, am I wrong? Am I wrong? And like, you're not. You know what I mean? You're not, but thinking that and having that doubt will it allows a little bit of, a lot of room for manipulation. But it also creates this energy of like, if I'm wrong, then that must mean there is someone else who's right. And that's what I'm saying, that can lead to manipulation, because then if we get to this point of like the belief that we don't know ourselves, or we don't know what we're talking about, or we don't know who we are, or that who we are is wrong, that our intrinsic beliefs are incorrect or false or wrong, that can lead to, again, like I said, not only being taken advantage of, but like manipulation. But especially with this card here, I like this, so I said I'm glad this was hidden behind. This Three of Wands, to me, is that energy of like the proof is in the pudding. Like, you will inevitably see that that's not true. You being wrong, you being... It's even this energy of like, am I a liar? That's so specific. Anyway. Like, is that fucked up of me? Am I wrong? Am I like... Because I'm hearing that am I wrong like a couple different ways. Like, meaning like, am I wrong and like, am I incorrect? And also, am I wrong? Like, am I wrong for that? You know what I mean? Like, is that messed up of me? And this feels influenced by someone else, something external. And you're going to get back to your belief and your knowledge, your truth. It might take a little bit. Look at that. I knew. But it's there. It's there. It's there. That belief might be stronger than the knowing right now. Lean into what is stronger. Damn. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. We're going to roll a joint real quick and take a quick little break. How do we feel? How do we feel, babes? How do we feel? What are we thinking? Welcome in for the new babes who are in here. Living for this. Fierce. Fierce. Also gonna take a cute little M&M break. Yes, I love smoking with you, babes, too. Fierce, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that y'all are vibing. Taking a risk, we're taking a chance. Doing something new. Okay, come on, 100 messages in the restream chat. Y'all are active today. We love it. Love it. It's 5 where you are, 5 p.m. It's just about to be 8 p.m. for me. We're on the East Coast over here. I got 5 on it. Yes. Oh, I'm so grateful. That's so nice of you to say, Des. Thank you. Don't forget, babes. Hey, Celicia. Don't forget, babes, we've got a tarot party this Saturday, and then we got a full moon circle on Sunday. And we do have a bundle. You can get a bundle. You can get both tickets in one. You get a little bit of a discount when you do that. I was really excited to do them both in the same weekend. Fundle bundle. And also, if you're subscribed on Patreon, then you get into both of those things for free. And if you would like a personal reading at the tarot party, you get that for 50% off. Just a heads up. The Patreon is such a good deal. It is such a good deal. Maybe too good of a deal, but it's but I like it. I like rewarding people for making the commitment to subscribe and pay me monthly. Like, I feel like you deserve shit for that. Like, I don't know. Like, what are we talking about? You know? Yes, they're both free entry for Alchemistas. And yeah, if you want to get a reading, it's 50% off. Yes, party, party, party. Party. Exactly. I love it. I just find them so fun. Thank you. I know. I just have a hard time with it. Not that I don't think I'm worth more, but like I am very aware of the capitalist hellscape that we exist in, and anything that I can do to not actively participate in that as much, I'm happy with. You know what I mean? On Sunday it is 3 p.m. Eastern time. So noon. Need a Ritz cracker with here. Oh my gosh. What a vibe. Is that like resin? Is that what that is? You put it on a cracker? That's crazy. And I've always said this. It's like such a Robin Hood vibe for me. Like, I want to work with the people who got the money so that way I can provide the things to my community for little to no cost. That's my ideal. And I think what I'm going to start doing as well, I don't know how to do this, but I want to start doing options where people can buy extra tickets for the full moon circles and for the tarot party, especially the full moon circles, where they can buy extra tickets, and like that can be on like on a retainer for like other people if they like can't, if they don't have the $15 but they still want to make it. Yeah, sponsor a babe. I think I want to do something like that. You know, if somebody has an extra $15 that month and they want to, you know, give their ticket to somebody else, I think that would be really fierce. Yeah. It's just something like that, you know? Just something like that. All right. cleanse. And we will yes. You make a good bag, lady. See, I get it. I find it difficult. And I was just hanging out with my friends yesterday, and don't take this the wrong way, right? Not my friends. I was hanging out with my family yesterday. And I find it really difficult when a man's brand of humor is to make fun of his wife. I find that really hard to stomach, hard to witness, and I find it even worse when women find it endearing. But I get it at the same time because I grew up around it, but witnessing it in real time, I was like, oof. You know what I mean? Oof. It's hard for me. I did not do Cancer yet. We're about to roll the dice again and see what we got. Yesterday, my mom was saying something and saying a fact about something random, and my stepdad coughed under his breath and said it was one of those oh, bullshit, one of those things. And I was like, does that make you feel good? Do you feel like you're being funny when you do that? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but I'm just I don't like that shit. Anyway. Oops. Hey. Not me exposing myself. Yeah. I wanted to make sure people could see the comments for both both platforms. Yeah, and for me, the type of bitch that I am, I don't let that shit slide. Especially when you're talking about my mom. I don't like that. And I might not tell you to stop, but I'm not going to make you feel good about yourself. That's for sure. Anyway. There's some oregano. Yeah, that's all. I was just having pasta earlier. Anyway, let's Aquarius. Or was it this way? Aquarius. It's a no for me, dog. Yeah. The babes, the babes who were at Peachka's Portal, the last Peachka's Portal, they got a little taste of it, and that wasn't even really anything crazy. That wasn't even anything, That was tame. That's funny. In the same way, right? It is probably top 5 feelings for me to make a man visibly uncomfortable to the point where he has to leave the room. Inject that shit into my veins, real, I go Super Saiyan. I can feel myself loading up, it's just truly that shit feels so good, not unprovoked. You know what I mean? Not unprovoked. Never without good reason. It's in my bones, exactly. Exactly. Ken doesn't have a good day unless Barbie notices him. No worries, it's Aquarius. I've just been yapping. We haven't pulled anything yet. Stubborn Batty Aqua, there you are. I love that. I love that. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Interesting. Some messages for Aquarius. Overthinking just a little bit, Aquarius. Just a little bit. It's okay. Thank you. As soon as I said it's okay, the cards fucking flew out. That's so funny. It's okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. We three kings. Whoa. Honestly, I love that. The symbolism of that feels fierce. We've also got her. The symbolism of the three kings feels fierce, right? This to me feels like gifts being brought, right? And in this moment right now, I am also thinking, and I don't teach this in class, but I'm thinking of the idea of what if the kings are the bestowers of the aces. Hey, babe. Because inherently the king has the connection to the divine, but the king and the queen do. It feels like there are gifts that are being embraced, gifts that are being bestowed. Interesting. Let's get some more. Thank you. This also just feels like maybe in a way, in recent events, you have had to show up in ways that you, and I'm not trying to say like, I never want to tell people to do anything, but like, you really ought to honor the way that you've shown up, you know? Like, you should be proud of yourself and like making time to acknowledge and hold space and celebrate, like honor the way that you've moved through what you've been moving through, Aquarius. Like, thank you. Thank you. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, because there's a next thing coming in for you. And like, not taking the time to really like truly think about how you've shown up in your experience is going to maybe make the next couple of things that come in not as sweet as they could feel. There might feel like there's something missing because you haven't taken this very important step and taken this time to like hold yourself up on a pedestal. We only level up once we've fully acknowledged how we've arrived at the place that's ready for more. You know? You don't just surprisingly have expanded. There is always a welcoming for expansion. There is an acknowledgement of I'm ready. And like, you might have thought you had to like take things slow or something. And like, you don't have to take things slow, but you do have to make sure that honoring yourself is part of the process. These three kings are crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, be present. I love that. You know? Yeah. Yeah, there is an abundance that is coming forth that you have to have appreciated yourself to be able to appreciate. You know? Always something is going to be missing if we don't have a gratitude practice for real. You know? Oh, I love that. That's so fucking beautiful. Go off, Aquarius. Okay. Who's next? Who did we do already? We did Gemini and Taurus and Aquarius. 2 air signs and an... Oh my god. Oh my god. And an earth sign. Where did you go? Leo. Come on, fire signs. There were a couple double Leos in the chat. I know there's some Leos in here. What is a gratitude practice? I mean, it's in the name, truthfully. Intentionally having a practice where you are grateful, right? And I say the word practice is in there because we don't necessarily live in a society or culture that values gratitude, that values being grateful, right? I only say practice, meaning it is something that we are actively working on, we are actively making time for, we are actively participating in. So that way gratitude becomes second nature. In the same way that when you're going to practice playing a sport, you know. Oh, I would love that. I would love that, Des. I would love that. I'll make it and people can post that. That's fierce. Yeah, I love that so much. All right. All right, Leo. We got Leo's in the chat. That's beautiful. That was a piss poor shuffle. We got a Leo moon. So let's see. Let's get some messages for Leo. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh. This came out first. Interesting. Oh, I like that combo. Actually. Yeah. Okay. Fierce. Let's get one more. Honestly, despite how this looks, I like this. I like this. Thank you. Well. 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 Let's start with these first, right? This energy to me gives this vibe of let's put this over here. This energy to me gives this vibe of we're revisiting ideas that we already have, not necessarily establishing new ones. Not that it's a bad idea or unwise or whatever, but that's not necessarily what the energy is calling for. There might be something that is, I don't want to say needing your attention, but that you may feel drawn to, and you are being asked to pay attention to it, to allow your focus to go to it and not start something new. I'm gonna just let that sit the way that it is, and there's no fear here that to revisit this thing. Not even is there no fear, but there's reassurance to revisit this old idea that the way that we felt about it before of like, this just isn't time. This doesn't work. I don't have the finances for it. This doesn't look, I don't know how this is going to fit in my reality right now. Things have changed. Things have changed. Opportunities have opened up, but more importantly, the way that you think about your experience has changed. Okay, clock it. And now this is potentially, this feels like maybe a warning if we're revisiting some old stuff. Of like feeling like it's a version of us that we have to become again. The version that maybe, like, okay, so if going, especially for my babes who've taken my tarot class, right? Going along the idea that this Ace of Wands is this brand new, fresh inspiration, right? This new spark. Rather than creating a new spark, we are revisiting an old spark. But the energy that comes forth when revisiting an old spark is not to be confused with you having to embody that same energy, because psychologically, that's not what's being asked of you. Psychologically, if that's, let me rephrase that. If that is what you are going to do, be very careful. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. The energy's coming up. You might already be participating in it. So just be careful. One more, please. Thank you. There's an emotional detachment from that version of you. That is what is going to allow this to mentally put yourself back there, to emotionally detach from that version of you is going to help. All right. All right, let's not do that. I just want one more, please. I get it, Leo. You want to be the center of attention, but I would just like one more, please. Thank you. Yeah, those 2 8s there. There is something to be gained from revisiting old ideas. But don't get caught up in the way, again, mentally. It might even be mentally the reason why you put it down in the first place. Time to move past that. Emotionally detach, keep building on it. Hi, babe. Be careful with the new idea, but more importantly, be careful with your mindset around the new idea, around the revisiting of the idea, right? I love that. I love that. As a Leo moon, I love that. To me, it gives the vibe of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But but instead of like fixing it, the habit might be, well, let me just replace it. That's a stretch of an analogy. All right. Who's next? Who is next? We already did Gemini. Hi, babes. We already did Leo. All right, Leo. All right, Leo. Who are you? Pisces. Oh. Pisces. We got a Pisces full moon on Sunday. I am doing readings. I'm doing readings for each sign. So, what sign are you? What's your sun, moon, rising? You have the potential to receive 3 different readings if you know your sun, moon, rising sign. You can mix and match. If you would like to, let me swap it for real quick. If you would like to get a personal reading from me, a one-on-one, I have a tarot party on Saturday. That is currently the only way to get a reading from me if you're not subscribed to my Patreon. And they're so fun. They're so fun. We do them on Zoom. It's a little donation to get a reading. But if you would like to join our tarot party, you can just do on Twitch !tarot, and you can hit the link. You can get the link, you know? The whole vibe. But honestly, what am I doing? Oh yeah. But honestly, I've been thinking so much about what you were saying on Sunday, Sarah. I have been thinking so much about the idea of the anonymity behind receiving a reading on like TikTok or on an app like this, and it's really shifted my perspective. I'm so grateful for you sharing that with me, like, because I've been feeling pulled to do it, but I'm the type of person, when I say something, I'm going to try and stand on that unless someone is able to shift my perspective. And like, that's exactly what that was. And I'm just so very grateful for it. Cancer sun, Sag moon, Aquarius rising, fierce. do I subscribe to the idea of cusps? Not really. Not really. I feel like the only time that I do is if someone's birth time is like right on the nose, where that like, so like, for example, I was born at 11:59 p.m. So sometimes my actual solar return is on March 6th and not March 5th, right? So if it were an instance like that, but it just so happened to be on the cusp, where sometimes you're the exact time, right? Yeah, exactly. 8 minutes between, right? Things like that, right? Where sometimes the exact time will shift and it will change when your solar return is. It will change the the sign. Then I would pay attention to it maybe a little bit more. But I feel like if it's just one of the days, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, there's no requirement to have the cam on. But I also understand, like, but when you're buying the ticket, I see your name, I get your address, that type of, like, I understand that. And also the thing of like, I want to be able to like throw it away and have this be like not even attached to me, So I get it. It was just really shifted my perspective, and I'm grateful for that. It like I said, I've been feeling the nudge to return to doing it on TikTok, and I felt weird about it because I've made this very clear stance of why I felt the way I felt, and then I was offered more information that expanded my stance, if that makes sense. That shifted the way that I felt. Your youngest sibling is a Libra sign for their birth time. That's such a Virgo thing to do. That's so funny. All right. Okay, Pisces. Myself included. Yeah, the energy got weird too, but it's been feeling really fun to be on there recently. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see. But you know me, I'm happy to shut shit down. I'm happy to try it and be like, actually, Or maybe it's just I don't do it on TikTok. Maybe I do it here on Twitch or something. Maybe it's here on Twitch. So I am like I don't know if maybe you misunderstood. I'm doing readings based on the astrology signs. So you said that you're a Cancer sun and a Sag moon. So whenever the Cancer comes up, that'll be, you can take what resonates with that. Whenever Sag comes up, you can take what resonates with that. Like I said, if you want a personal reading from me, you got to come to the tarot party. Got to pay attention, baby. You missing the messages. The readings next weekend, the link is just peachkaspeaks.com/tarot party. The ticket to come in is $15 to just join. The personal reading is $50, and then the extended reading is $75 for the party. But like I said, if you're subscribed to my Patreon, you get in for free, and you get the reading for 50% off. So. Yeah, I also like streaming from my computer to TikTok as well. All right. Okay, Pisces. What do we need to hear? Thank you. Ooh. being gentle with the self, being graceful with the way you're moving through your experience right now, not needing to rush, not needing to be too hard on yourself. There doesn't need to be too much pressure. I really like that. Let's keep going. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Uh-oh. Thank you. Yeah. That feels right with this full moon. Second time that's come out in the reverse. Put it back. That's funny. I mean, as always, right? The tower doesn't necessarily have to be a breaking point. It can be a disruption or destruction. You never know. But especially coming out with the moon, right? And this Two of Pentacles, right? We can see the story here, right? Like this reminder, first and foremost, to be gentle with the self, to give oneself grace, to move through this experience, like I said, with ease and gratitude, right? Right? Not needing there to be this performance of I'm being productive. I am doing what is being asked of me. There is a balance here between actually honoring the way that one is feeling in the current scope of things. In the current scope of things. The puppy dog confirmation. All is not lost here. And like this feeling of like needing to, it feels to me, right, like, you know when people like sign up for a book club that they don't even really care about or like, but they know that they need to be around people for a little bit every week or every other week, you know what I mean? Or it's like somebody, you know, people will go and sit at the bar and be around people that they don't really even care about, or like they don't even like to drink, but they know they need to socialize. It's this type of vibe. It's like there's this, you know, there's this need to be present and show up and not fully go inward, but there's a balance here that can happen because it can't just be I'm distracting the way things feel with this going on. And again, take this as small or big as you want to, but this to me just feels like the political landscape, if we're being really fucking honest, right? Personally, right, I was just having this conversation with my best friend earlier today about how I've been vlogging and I've been wanting to show up in these spaces more and be public facing a little bit more, show up in my obligations a little bit more, when for a very long time I felt like I didn't want to do that, and I needed to go inward and I needed to pay attention to myself. I must learn the balance between those things, of those things. Like I said, I was thinking about the idea of doing this while the world is literally crumbling, and the juxtaposition between like why does it matter that there is a 19-minute video of me bleaching my hair, but also if that's the video that people choose to watch to lift their spirits, then why would I not do that at the same, you know what I mean? There is a balance there. There are things to be grateful for. There is beauty. There are opportunities within things seemingly being destroyed. you know? And it's not... Yeah. One more. Thank you. Big boss need a big check. Thank you. I just heard you don't gotta think about it. You don't gotta think about it. You don't gotta think about that. Not only you don't gotta think about that, but also like that is what separates a leader, mentor, advisor from someone seeking advisory. Is the way in which you balance the external versus the internal, the way in which you weather the storm. The having I don't want to say the word grip. That's not what I want. Not letting things slip through the cracks. We're on a tight ship over here, okay? We don't go against the program. We don't go against the program. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll take a break. Take a little mini break. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because being one or the other will inevitably lead to that feeling of hopelessness, right? Okay, actually, we're going to take a break right now because your girl has to use the lavatory. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Get out of here, Auntie Claire. Era. I love it. Be careful. Oh, you wanna be the villain? Dark feminine era, baby, they need to feel it. Yeah, I got what you need, no Eve, I'll be the Lilith. When you see what I see, you'll need to heal your spirit. Ooh, yeah. I'm walking around like I'm Medusa, won't you look me in the eyes? The truth hit like a bazooka when you only shooting lies. I really thought I knew you, you've been wearing the disguise. Angels singing hallelujah, cause I finally changed the tides. I did the love and light thing. I ain't saying it's the right thing, but what you give to me, I'ma give back, so I really hope you try me. I don't care if you don't like me. No. Take more than trying to buy me. And I taught myself and I can teach you, babe, since you asked me so politely. You take the parts of your shadow self and you bring them bitches to the light. Yeah, the parts of you that you really hate and you look them straight in the eye. Okay. Yeah, the parts of you that you scared of and the parts of you that you run from and the parts of you that you lock up that'll make them all run and hide. Oh, you wanna be the villain? Dark feminine era, baby, they need to feel it. Yeah, I got what you need, no Eve, I'll be the Lilith. When you see what I see, you'll need to heal your spirit. Ooh, yeah. I stand firm in my boundaries. I don't have to people please. I embrace my shadow so the light can flow to me with ease. I'm firm in my boundaries. I don't have to people please. I embrace my shadow so the light can flow to me with ease. Ooh, doesn't that feel good to say? Doesn't it feel good to stand in your personal power? Say the affirmation with me and really mean it this time. I stand firm in my boundaries. I don't have to people please. I embrace my shadow so the light can flow to me with ease. I'm firm in my boundaries. I don't have to people please. I embrace my shadow so the light can flow to me with ease. Oh, you wanna be the villain? Dark feminine era, baby, they need to feel it. Yeah, I got what you need, no Eve, I'll be the Lilith. When you see what I see, you'll need to heal your spirit. Ooh, yeah, baby, come be the villain. Ooh, dark feminine era, baby, you know you feel it. Yeah, you got what you need, and it's confirmed from Lilith. Ooh, you see what I see, you feel it in your spirit. Yeah. Whoops. Whoopsies, we're back. I said I did see the reading come through. I saw the ticket come through, Des. Y'all know I'm still figuring this whole thing out. Still figuring this whole kit and caboodle. You know what I mean? Alright. Let's see who's up next. Aries. Yeah. You got any Aries in the chat? I've got an Aries Venus. That's the only Aries placement I have. And it's like this one of the scariest placements to have in Aries. Actually, honestly, maybe Mercury and Aries might be scarier. In my humble opinion. Yeah. And South Node. Interesting. Yeah, that Aries Venus be eating me up sometimes, boy. I'll tell you that. I love that. I do. That's like one of my favorite things. I like when y'all engage with me in the chat, but I do like that y'all just like to have me on in the background as well. Aries moon and surrounded. That's funny. It's just Venus doesn't necessarily, I don't want to say she doesn't enjoy being there, but it's not like a Venus-y sign, right? Like Aries is very fiery. It's very like Mars energy. And just Venus is very like, to me, Aries gives like bull in a china shop. Obviously, I know Aries is a ram, not a bull. That's not, whatever. and Venus gives like delicate fine china. You know what I mean? Like, not an Aries, but you are a Sagittarius. Sag is very that too. Strength on the bottom of the deck, we love. All right. Let's see, what does Aries need to hear? Thank you. Interesting. Okay, and this is another little supplement for the tarot class. And this used to be something that we would pay attention to a lot more whenever I would do like personal readings, but like pay attention to when the same cards come out. You all watch, especially with this view, you all watch how much I shuffle and how many times I shuffle. And it is not lost on me when the same cards come out for multiple signs, because this is our collective after all, right? So especially when we're doing like personal readings and a lot of the same cards are coming out, there is a collective energy that exists. I just like to give that because I find it very fascinating, and as a girly who likes patterns, I love whenever we have patterns in the collective messages. Ooh, and I also love whenever certain cards, I got your ticket, Sarah, when certain cards come out that haven't been out yet. Ooh. I love this. This feels like, this to me, the first and foremost thing is like, as soon as you stop feeling the need to like impress everyone, or like, maybe not impress, maybe that's not the word. It feels like that, but that's not what it is. I don't know. Maybe even just like this people pleaser energy of like needing to like serve other people, even like there's this thing of like, what can I do? What can I do? How can I help? And there's this feeling of like needing to perform here, wanting to execute things, wanting to see one's worth in the way one performs for others. And like, you're celebrated for more than just that. What other people find valuable in you, you might be misinterpreting. Thank you for the follow, babe. Miss Broken Capillary. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's funny. There is more to you available in your interpersonal relationships than I think you are not only used to, but like then you even like know exists. And that might sound dramatic, but like the way in which you think of yourself in comparison to other people is like directly limiting how delicious and beautiful and abundant interpersonal relationships can be. Just period. Like, you thinking that you have to be doing things for other people for them to like you And it takes all of the, like I said, all of the flavor out of how delicious it could be. Hi, babe. I love you too. Thank you. Yep.
Hold up.
Yeah. Thank you for subscribing, babe. Yeah. It feels like there's like a reassessment here, a needing to, reevaluate. Because if you feel like you have to perform for people to like you, what do people have to do for you to like them? Does it work that way, the other way around? There's some questions we've got to ask ourselves here, babe. Do you even like, is it even about if you like them at all? Do you just want people to like you? Again, questions that need answers. You know. One more? Jeez, thank you. You might not even want to be around the people that you're around because this is lacking. Or, I mean, it feels like you don't feel this. You think it's lacking. It's not. I mean, it's quite clear that it's there. But when this gets in the way, feels like we've maybe lost sight of the meaning of even having friendships, relationships in the first place. I know that sounds a little harsh, but I mean it with so much love. Yeah. Yeah, so much love, so much love, so much love, so much love. That was so quick. That was so quick. The payoff, inevitably connection, right? Inevitably connection in the way that you really want to feel, but you think that you have to perform for. You're a Sagittarius, but your moon is Capricorn and your ascendant is Pisces, which you don't know what ascendant means. So ascendant is the first house, right? Your rising sign is the sign that rules the first house in your chart. Usually. Beep beep. Okay, who's next? Let's see. What sign are we doing next? Cancer. Oh. smaller house with a courtyard. Ask and you shall receive, baby. Oh, I love that. That's funny. And while we're mentioning it, sure. While we're mentioning it, this trend of people posting their natal chart on social media, like on TikTok, and being like, roast me for my chart, like that shit's crazy. That shit is crazy. I mean, and obviously, usually it's people who, like, no shade to them, don't have that big of a following, so really it doesn't fucking matter. But that's how these scammers begin, y'all. Real talk. That's how those scammers begin, y'all. It could apply. I feel like when it comes to like these astrology readings, I typically like to stick with sun, moon, and rising. Maybe Venus, Mars, Mercury, if it's feeling pertinent to you. But Lilith, I mean, depending on what you're moving through, maybe. You know? Maybe. Hey. Like for me, I was born under a Lilith Kazemi. So like Lilith and the sun were in the same spot when I was born. So for me, I like to, consider it, but it totally depends on how, especially if you work with Lilith, that's, that might matter to you. If she's been coming up in your experience a lot, maybe pay attention. Strength on the bottom of the deck again. All right. Okay, Cancer, let's see what we need to hear. Ooh. Thank you. Interesting. We'll look at these in a second. Oh, the Cancer card. Okay, Cancer. You can't expect to you don't test yourself and also move on at the same time, right? They happen in concession. Quite literally, the cards. He can't have hung himself upside down in a tree to see if he can handle it, and then also expect to be on a chariot moving however fast. He can't be in two places at once. That's not, right? Obviously, we're talking energy here, though. I don't want to say you're testing yourself, but it feels like there's a challenge that you have been undergoing. That feels very dramatic to say, but Cancer's a dramatic sign. So you might even like, it might even be something like, I'm gonna try and quit smoking, or I'm gonna not order out food as much, or maybe it's this whole fucking like end of the year lock-in thing. You know, maybe there is this challenge that you are wanting to embark on, or you are currently embarking on. The movement comes after the challenge. And what I mean by that is, you can't put pressure on yourself of, well, why am I still here? Well, because you're still fucking in the challenge, bitch. What are you talking about? You know, like, you're there because you're challenging yourself. Like, what, you're trying to rush it. Trying to rush it. What do you mean? Now what do we got over here? What do we got over here? Again, this Ace of Swords in the reverse. This questioning a truth. Am I ever gonna move? Will I ever be satisfied? Again, this feeling of you don't, again, this energy of feeling like you have to prove yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody, babe. You're not in the wrong spot. You haven't made a wrong choice. You chose to challenge yourself. Don't start doubting it now. Furthermore, don't ignore the feelings, the emotions that are coming up while you're challenging yourself. You may be feeling stuck is the exact thing this challenge is meant to bring out of you. And again, right, challenge is relative. However that resonates with you, Cancer. But it's like, literally being like, okay, being angry that you haven't won the trophy while you're still running the race. You know, or like, literally anything. You know what I mean? Like, smoking more is your goal. That's funny. And like, you might not feel like fully yourself while you're challenging yourself. And like, that's part of it. There's like, challenging yourself doesn't have to be rooted in, I have to prove something to myself or to somebody else. And if it is, maybe maybe the challenge is where we got ourselves fucked up. That's funny. That's funny. Why you haven't won, you know, latte maker of the year yet, you know? Why you can't make latte art. Yeah, I get it. Similar vibe for me. I'm like, you know, I've been doing comedy and I've been doing improv for almost 2 years now. Why hasn't my favorite comedy production company hired me? Like, I feel the same way. I get it. Sag. We got Sag in the house. Ooh! Keep forgetting to try to guess. I was like, to try what? A little bit of water, a little bit of chocolate. My period's coming. Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Sag. What do we need to hear? What is Sag North Node? Oh, thank you. Oh. Jeez. Baby, you don't need to overdo it. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, Sagittarius, because I know Sagittarius energy very well. A reluctancy to pause and get very clear on what direction you're going, especially for Sag, is going to leave you going here, there, and everywhere. And energetically, that's exhausting. It's like not doing the preparation. Like, okay, we're not going to take a little bit of time to map out our route and figure out where it is that we're going. We're going to just wing it. So that now it's going to take us an extra however many hours to get where we're going, and we've run out of gas, and now we're hungry, and we've had to pee 3 times. It's like we've added all this stuff, and it's and now we've kind of lost sight of why we're even going to the place we're going in the first place. And it's like, sometimes, Sag, y'all be doing shit without really knowing why. And then, like, as you're doing it, you try to figure out the why. That will lead you astray, my love. Not always. Sometimes. It's hard to get super clear on what exactly it is that you're looking for, right? if we haven't done this part, we're going to... We're not going to know what to do when we have all these fucking wands because we haven't... It hasn't been clear to us. We haven't decided. We haven't made a decision. There is an intention behind our decision. Let me say that. Yeah. And like sometimes that works and sometimes spontaneity is really fun and really exciting. But other times when we do actually have this kind of idea of what we want, and then when we disappoint ourselves because we haven't thought things through, it can become difficult. But this feels like a new perspective for you, Sag. Of like being open and what if I tried something new? Let's get one more on that. Thank you. Yeah. If things work out for me most of the time, whenever I'm winging it, I wonder how they could work out if I am intentional. More importantly, why am I kind of scared to be intentional? There's more to expand upon here with the thoughts and beliefs you have around why you do the things that you do, Sag. You know, we can obviously hold gratitude for it getting us to where we've needed to be so many times, that method. But then also hold space for maybe there's something else. Maybe I can think about these things differently. Fierce. I love that. Thought diversity. I love that so much. Into something or someone and not feeling this fulfillment. Oof! I love that. 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 All right. Who do we have next? Let's get some more earth signs up in here. Can we get Virgo for Virgo season? Okay, I'll take Capricorn. I'll take it. Oh, it's this way. I'll take Capricorn. Thank you, Mika. This ring just keeps sliding off my fingy. Slipping through my fingers all the time. Capricorn moon in the 12th house. Oof. Wow. Bex, if you have an ad, you can go over to YouTube. I'm live on YouTube as well. All right, cat. Oh, fierce. Yeah, I changed the variety of it a little bit. So, we'll see. But as always, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. I just use my Amazon Prime subscription to subscribe to Hassan Piker. So I understand if you've used yours already. I understand if you've used yours already. Okay. All right, Cap. Let's see what we need to hear. It really doesn't want to be seen. I wonder what it is. Oh. Baby, you're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be happy even when you're not being productive. You're allowed to be happy even when it seems like the world is falling apart. You're allowed to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You get to be happy. Happiness is available to you. Nothing is required to have this feeling, to embrace this feeling, to enjoy this feeling. It didn't even want to come out. And when it did come out, it just fell into my lap. Not only are you allowed to be happy, you're allowed to be seen being happy. You're allowed to be happy out loud. Thank you. Yes. I was literally about to say the world wants to see you happy. Thank you. Like, I don't know if you were taught subconsciously that, like, you being sad or you, like, yeah, crying or, like, you know, like you weren't allowed or, like, you got more attention. Like, it doesn't have to be that way, babe. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that way. Oh, look at these twos. Two, two, two. And then the moon there. Wow. Wow. Capricorn, there might even be, you know, a new relationship coming in for you, or, you know, new friends, new collaborations inevitably. But there might even just be new things that you care about, new things that are coming into your experience, and, like, this might be the first time in a long time that, like, you've wanted to be happy. That it's felt good, that it's felt deserved. All of these major arcana, Capricorn. This full moon is going to really open something up for you. Open and even it out, it feels like. It feels like there is this, like, surfacing of, like, you know when you have something floating on the surface, like, you know those like the things that float around the pool that, like, keep it clean, and you know when you, like, push that under the water, or even like a pool noodle or something, and you push it under the water and, like, inevitably it pops back up and, like, you know, might bounce around a little bit and then it's going to even out. Like, it's that, right? There is something resurfacing coming up from the depths that is, like, taking a little bit of time to balance out, and, like, there might be some feelings of, like, I don't know what this type of happiness feels like, And that's sad. And I get that. I've never felt this before, and I'm sad for the versions of me that have never felt this. That's deep for Capricorn. But it is a Pisces full moon coming up after all. I feel like also there's an element of like you've asked for this, you've prayed for this. You've known that moving through the darkness will inevitably bring forth the light, and now it's time to enjoy and embrace the light. You don't have to do anything for it. You don't have to pay anybody anything, metaphorically speaking, or literally speaking. You don't have to earn it. You've earned it. You've done it. You get to enjoy this now. That's so beautiful. Hey, Adrian. Hey, babe. Oh, I love that. What a vibe for Capricorn. What a vibe. Oh, and especially for a Cap moon. Oh my god, yeah. Fierce. Fierce. All right, who's next? Virgo. Wait, that's Virgo, right? That's Virgo. That's not Scorp. That might be Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio. Scorpio. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I knew I was getting paid today. I just didn't know when. I should have known that it was going to come in at 9:26. Thank you kindly. Scorpio. Hey, babes. Oh, thank you for following, babe. Jack the Sack. I love you guys' usernames. It's so funny. I have not done Virgo yet. I have not. That's why I thought this was Virgo. I think left we have Scorpio, Virgo, Libra, and I think that's it. I think that's it. Just in time. I'm not doing personal readings. Thank you for asking, though. I'm so grateful. If I do choose to do personal readings, maybe in the future, but not right now. But if you would like to get a personal reading from me, I'm doing a tarot party next weekend if you want to get a reading. And those are really fun. Obviously, I know you're super new to the community you just followed. But they're really fun. I host them on Zoom, and it's like you get to have a little bit of FaceTime with me, which is fun. But for now, we're doing astrology readings. So, if you know your sun, moon, rising sign, you can maybe get a message. Interesting. All right, Scorpio. My rising sign. else need a big check. Thank you for the bits, babe. Ooh. Okay. Again, interesting. Interesting. Ooh. First of all, well done, Scorpio. It feels like there was a situation in which you could have stooped to someone's level and you chose not to, and you are being rewarded for it. I know how hard that is for you sometimes, so well done. You may not perceive that there are rewards being bestowed upon you because they're not coming forward in the way that you thought they were. You might not get to feel a sense of retribution that you thought you would by maybe taking the higher road. And that might be something that you have to get used to, reckon with, whatever the case may be there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you don't get to tell somebody exactly how or what you think of them in a situation where someone may have wronged you, right? For example, if you don't get to do the thing that you usually do to receive some sort of satisfaction, satisfaction has been a recurring theme. Then what is it that you're actually looking for? I know I keep talking about a situation. This feels like somebody did you dirty and you were like, "You know what? I'm going to take the high route. I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to let the universe work it out. I'm going to let karma do its thing." But you're also realizing that that means you don't get to see if that person knows what they did or didn't do. So then what makes you feel good? What puts a bow on it for you? What wraps it up for you? What gets you out of this energy of thinking about it, being upset about it, it mattering still? One more. Thank you. I just keep hearing that thing. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. It feels like there might be a lesson here in not having things either blow up in your face or someone else's for there to be a conclusion to something. That's what I'm saying about like a satisfying ending, right? Someone's life doesn't have to implode for there to be a button on something, for there to be for there to be a period at the end of a sentence. Things can be cool, calm, and collected. Things can be level-headed. Things can be easy. They're allowed to be Scorpio. They're allowed to be easy. It does not have to be some sort of big plot. And I know that might piss you off a little bit. And you know what? Love you. Love you. Oh, well. All right, we've only got a couple more left. We've already done Gemini. We've already done Aquarius. Already done Taurus. Already done Cancer. Already done Pisces. Okay. Virgo. Just in time for real, Adrian. You got any other Virgos in the chat? It's Virgo season after all. Ooh. It's your bestie's birthday. Cute. Wait, Adrian, when's your birthday? I mean, if you don't want to put it in the chat, I totally get that. But oh yeah, you did say that. Beyonce's birthday. You did tell me that. You did tell me that. You did tell me that. All right, Virgos. Let's see what we need to hear. Whoa. Don't do that. I'm not doing that. It's fucking half the deck. I will leave that one. Thank you. What I will do, though, is take that bit and shuffle those. Give me the most important part of that. Give me the most important part of that. Thank you. Okay. This Hermit. Is Hermit the Virgo card? I feel like it is. I can't remember, and I just taught this the other day. I feel like it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Hermit gives Virgo energy to me anyway. You were over here. I think Virgo Virgo sometimes thrives on the energy of like being the best, right? There's like sometimes an innate competitiveness to Virgo that like I love, but I think sometimes needs like, you know, needs to be kept in check. And like the way to do that is to remind oneself of like not why one competes in the first place, but really that like why do you love the thing that you are so competitive about so much? And how can I channel the love of that into a place that isn't combating with other people for it? Or feeling the need to win, so to speak, right? Not that there's anything wrong with wanting to win, but if everything becomes that, we got a little bit of an issue. Or at the very least, if that energy is seeping its way into things that don't require that, we've got a little bit of an issue. And it feels like there might be a little bit of a reluctancy to witness this within oneself. There's nothing wrong with being competitive when it's placed in the right spot. You know what I mean? And like, more importantly, we might have to address the energy of like kind of not caring if there isn't something to be won. Or if there isn't some sort of like, achievement to be gained or whatever, right? That might even look like something like you might even be the competition. Like, it might even be competing with yourself, right? This to me feels like this energy of like, instead of spending my time, I don't fucking know, like painting ceramics or whatever, or like writing poetry or reading a book or whatever, I'm going to get a fucking certification. Like, if that's not a Virgo move, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? And again, there's nothing wrong with bettering oneself, but putting forth effort in that way is not the same thing as enjoying oneself in a book. That doesn't mean that you can't get joy out of learning, but those two things are the same thing. And that's what I mean by like, everything doesn't have to be this thing to like push, Competitive is maybe the wrong word, but I think you understand what I'm saying with that. The Virgo next to you being your partner. It's not the Hermit, it's the Hierophant. That's funny. Google says yes. I can't remember what it... Google says yes, but what does I says? I'll look at my... Yeah, I have Virgo as the Hermit, and I have Taurus as the Hierophant. Which I could maybe see those being the other way around. I could see that. 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 Now, what the fuck do we got going on over here in this big ass chunk? A whole lot. Probably all the things that you could be doing instead of competing. That's funny. That's the type of shit that I find funny. All right, last but not least, Libra. We got Libra season up next. Yeah. That's also very Virgo. It's kind of like, oh, I'm here, let me give you everything. It's like, bitch. Like, overachiever energy. Like, come on, get a grip. And see, let that be a lesson as well. Sometimes if the overachieving gets overlooked because no one's trying to read all that. No one cares as much as you fucking care. You know what I mean? Yes, Miss Broken Capillary. Hello? Libra. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Jeez. Okay. Oh, nothing like a Taurus in love. Come on, Venetian energy. I mean, Taurus. Libra in love. Interesting. And I love that these kind of came out like this. Interesting. Interesting. And again, 9 of Cups in reverse. Again, I want to just reiterate and remind everybody about the importance of a fucking gratitude practice. I love that we talked about that today. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's deal with these first. I love the way that this has come out. I love this. I love this. Because this to me is neutral in every sense of the word, right? It's giving, this is available to you. This is easy for you. This is within your wheelhouse. Might not be enjoyable. Might not be welcomed, right? But it's not necessarily dismissed. But again, obviously what we know about Libra, you know. There's also just like such a comfortability with oneself here. This to me is like reading as this thing of like, sure, like I like to spend time and be around other people. I love to pour into other people, but I don't feel I don't feel like I am lacking if I'm not doing that. It like, you know how some people, like, if they aren't in a relationship, they feel like they're missing something. That doesn't feel like anything's missing here. This feels like such a security and a safety within oneself, which is so beautiful. But again, maybe a little bit of a gratitude practice lacking, right? This also feels maybe like a little bit of like an emotional reservedness. Because, you know, we've also got this Ace of Cups and Four of Cups here that came out here as well. This feels like maybe like a preserving one's emotional state, knowing how you can get type vibes, and not wanting to be hurt again in a nutshell, but really not wanting to project the view of what something could be onto something that it's not. And I completely understand that. That doesn't feel like what you're experiencing, but it feels like that might be trickling into other places, right? Like not getting your hopes up, not wanting to get too excited about something, not wanting to pour into something too much for fear of, you know, being let down or it not living up to its expectations. I feel like that, like, especially with this 8 of Swords in the reverse and 8 of Wands in the upright, like, that's not what this is. And like this indifference maybe isn't serving you in a way that perhaps it was before, Libra. I know you're all about balance, but like sometimes you might have to make, you know, a pivotal decision, quite literally, you know what I mean? To tilt those scales. Oh, I fucking love that. Oh, I fucking love that. I love that. No romance for me, please. Yeah, and the Lovers and the Two of Cups doesn't even have to be romance. This, like, that can also just be like an idealism, right? There's a sense of like, yeah, viewing something in a certain way with those cards. you know. Bunch of 8s. Yeah. Fierce. All right, my loves. I really enjoyed this. I love you all so much. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you to the babes who sent bits. I'm so grateful. If you received anything from this, if you enjoyed this, you can always tip or donate. That is always welcome. I'm always grateful for it. Your girl is moving at the end of the month, so any little bit helps, and I'm very grateful for it. Like I said, if you would like to buy a ticket to my tarot party that is taking place next weekend, you can do that. You can go to peachkaspeaks.com/tarot party. I'll put it in the chat. Thank you, babes. Thank you. I'll put it in. Tarot party. There you go. There you go, babes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you all so much. Thank you, babes. Love ya. Love ya.